Hello gang, welcome to the channel, and today we're gonna go through into the ultimate challenge for my characters. I'm gonna test my six biggest damage wise tier 4 I have, and it's Magneto, Namor, Moonknight, Shadowshell, Jean Grey, and Thor against and Namor. Basically, I'm not sure what I missed, but yeah, these six against Dormamu, and we're gonna see who is going to DPS this boss fast enough to be the absolute champion of this. And of course there are multiple different type of characters, but I managed to record all of 6 runs against Dormamu universal day, so the only characters are going to have kind of advantage is Thor and Jean, because they are universal and there is no damage reduction against Dormammu this specific day, when the others are going to have damage reduction. Of course, I'm gonna use different teams on between, and I'm gonna show you the build of the characters. But if you want to clear GBR Dormammu yourself, you should do that instead of going to build your characters. If you're struggling on Dormammu, you should join our Discord. Yes, our Discord server. What's that? Down below in the description there is a link that says Discord server. If you press that, you're getting an invitation to our awesome Discord server, where you can find multiple things into our favorite game. There are like the best characters for each day of ABL, ABX. Pressing one button, you can see which team it's the best for silence, paralysis, or burn, or for ABX, blast villain meta day. Again, I mean, there are multiple factions on this server that they can help you progress through the game. You can go here, flex the accomplishments you have done. You can come here, ask for carry on GBR. What are you doing through that? You're just pressing the help button and you're asking from others to help you. You're saying the damage you can do into Dormammu, and the others are going to come here, press that they want to help you, and they're going to help you like that. Or you can offer yourself a carry to others and tell them that you can carry them through this bot. They're pressing here invite or later, and they can come into your group. Also, there's the same thing for rifts, but the most important that I didn't say in the start is that there are also giveaway every second week, that the first, second, and the third are getting a thanks on the video, and also the first getting a crystal coupon code every single time. So 300 crystals every single time for the first. And as you can see here, there is a fight going on with the people, and the people are taking these tokens and these points through talking into the Discord. As more as you use the server, the more you're getting, the more tokens you're collecting. And you can see here there is a leaderboard that it's resetting every 2 weeks. Also, you can come here and see other stuff that you can, if you don't care about crystals, you can come here and get a GBR priority. So everyone who wants to carry have to carry you first and after the others. And also a raffle ticket that you can buy, which is like lottery. You're pressing that and you're getting a number, and in the end of the 2 weeks period, you're gonna get perhaps you're gonna win. And I'm doing this lottery every second week as the crystal coupon giving it. So that was it about my Discord. Of course, don't forget to smash the like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and let me know down below in the comments what's your favorite GBR clear. What are you doing daily? Most of the people do just 2 runs and nothing else with full boost points. What's your 2 best runs with your team, with your account? And let's go through the characters to see how they perform against GBR. By the way, always there is GBR Galactus that people can clear it without help most of the times, but in the same time you're getting less rewards, and getting help is not bad at all. So let's go through Thor. I'm gonna go through their details really fast, but you need to know that my characters are really stacked up. This is the very best characters I'm using for my ABX and ABL. So we're talking about brilliant CDPs, we're talking about artifacts, mythic uniforms, full of Odin's blessing. That's my Thor, that's my Magneto. As you can see here, he's pretty stacked up too. I mean, they're not full of Odin's blessing, but they have a lot of Odin's blessing. Mighty raids here. So Magneto got a mighty raids, my Thor got a brilliant raids, and my Moonknight got a brilliant raids. The rest got mighty raids. And my Namor got 5-star artifact also, mythic uniform. I just did that stuff here. And he is full of Odin's blessing also. He's missing some, but still. You can see here his stats also. My Jean Grey has a really good build too, as you can figure out here from the numbers. And I don't have a brilliant CDP on here, but I have here 4-star artifact, mythic uniform 2, and the 2 last is Moonknight, and his build looks like that. Artifact 5-star also, brilliant CDP of raids. And so it's 2 characters that I have 5-star artifact. It's Moonknight and Namor, and the rest I have 4-star artifact, like Shadowshell, Thor, Magneto, Jean Grey, and yes, this one. And you can see mighty raids here too. Couple of Odin's blessings. So it's my best build. You know, the characters I have in total 9 tier 4s. The 6 most builded is here to test them against GBR. So yeah, let's go into that and check out the teams also. I'm going to use one by one. I'm gonna start with my last tier 4, which is Namor. And I think I used Valkyr as support for everyone, but the leadership sometimes could different because, you know, Magneto is a really good leadership for himself. So you don't, I had to swap the teams, so it's not exactly the same teams. But here I feel like Polaris and Valkyr was the best choice for me, for my Namor. And the point with him was to do, you know, the rotation. Basically, I was using pretty much is 5 delay cancel, 4 cancel, 2 cancel, 1 cancel, 3, letting your third play until the thing that you're seeing like a wave into the boss, and after you're doing exactly the same thing. The delay on the 5th skill is when you're throwing a whale into the enemy, and when you, yeah, like this, and after that you're canceling everything really fast into your 3rd skill. When you have your tier 3 or your tier 4, you want to start your rotation with these 2 skills, let him slam down his weapon, and after he slam down his weapon, the screen is full of water and you're doing exactly the same thing again. If you have your tier 4, you could start with your tier 4 rotation or not. It doesn't really matter. It's just extra damage. It's not like you have to do something specific with him. So as you can see here, I was kind of in front of my DPS, and all the fights basically it's until the 20th bar, you know, until the boss goes into the very last phase where you have to avoid stuff and do stuff. I just want to see the burst DPS there, and that's why I hold it like that, you know. So took me 1 minute and 40 seconds, basically 1 minute and 40 seconds for Namor. And I knew that Namor is not that good for GBR, but still 140 is really cool. So now let's go to the second one. The second, basically the other last character I did tier 4, and it's Shadowshell, I think. So yeah, let's go through here. For Shadowshell, I'm using the leadership of Wave with support of Valkyr, and with Shadowshell, the point is to progress through your Mighty Rage proc multiple times, and the point when you're using your tier 4 is to do other skills after it. What I'm talking about? Okay, let's start with your rotation. So when you want to do here rotation and you have a CTP of Rage, a CTP of Judgment, or something that you don't really need to proc on a specific skill, you want to start your rotation with 2 cancel 1, cancel 3, cancel 4, cancel 5, and let your 5th skill place until the end. In the very next rotation, you're doing exactly the same, 2 cancel 1, cancel tier 3, I mean awaken skill, your 6th skill, and after you're canceling immediately your 6th skill and you're progressing through the normal rotation. So now when you have your tier 4 skill, you want to do your tier 4, and after your tier 4 you want to do 2 cancel 1, cancel 3, cancel 4, cancel 5, because your tier 4 skill, it's stacking up the skills you're doing, and as more skills you're using, the more buff you're getting to produce more damage at the end. So the plan is to go your skills really fast, to cancel 1, cancel 3, cancel 4, cancel 5. And when you have your tier 4, you're starting with your tier 4 and you're doing exactly the same. 2 cancel 1, cancel 3, cancel 4, cancel 5. Of course, you can cancel. You can ignore. You can ignore your second and your first skill if you have your tier 4, and do your tier 4, and after 3 cancel 4 cancel 5. But here rotation, it's really easy. You can do also your first skill to jump around. She's really useful, and as you can see, she's really fast also. So it took me 1 minute and 30 seconds. So she's 10 seconds faster against the universal Dormamu than Namor. Of course, my rotations could be, with one better, with other better, my proccing on stuff. But I want just to do, this walkthrough for my rotations also on every single character. So if you struggle yourself to produce damage with these characters, now you know what was going wrong. So let's go to the other one, which was, I think it was Moonknight I built before Shadowshell. I'm not sure, but let's go through Moonknight. So Moonknight's rotation, it's pretty similar with Shadowshell, and I'm using a perhaps similar team also. I'm using, instead of Valkyrie, Fox, because Fox is giving a buff to the character that got the leadership tag, like it's Moonknight and Thor from the characters I have here. And you can see the rotation on my Moonknight, it's pretty much the same as Shadowshell. You're starting with 2 cancel 1, cancel 3, cancel 4, cancel 5, and you want to proc on your 5th skill. But the reason you're doing 2 cancel 1, cancel 3, cancel 4, it's because the extra hits you're getting into the start provides you the opportunity to enable the raids, and having your 5th skill lands exactly on the proc. So when you have your tier 4, you don't really care like Shadowshell. You just want to spam your tier 4 also, and every second rotation, as you can see here, I'm doing 2 cancel 1, cancel tier 3 or awaken skill, and again through the normal rotation, which is 2 cancel 1, cancel 3, cancel 4, cancel 5. Every single time. You don't really need to delay on any skill, but the point is to let your 5th skill place until the end, until you go into the sky and land down. If you don't let your 5th skill place until the end, you're missing a huge amount of damage. So the main source of your DPS, again, it's your 4th skill, but depending on how you're going to utilize it, you're gonna get extra hits or not. And as you can see here, Moonknight did faster than Shadowshell, but you have to consider also that their timing is really similar, pretty much exactly the same. But my Moonknight also got a brilliant raid against the mighty raids Namor and Shadowshell got, so he's doing more, but in the same time he got the best build. And in the same time, you have to understand that generally Shadowshell, Moonknight and Namor getting a disadvantage because the boss, it's universal type. So that was it for my Moonknight, and let's go to the next one, which is MAgneto. Yeah, MAgneto. With MAgneto, I have pretty much similar, mighty raids, but with him, the point is that there is no rotation. There is no proper rotation to go through, and my advice every single time, it's not like you're going to see a huge difference, but the point is to use your 5th skill before you're starting dropping skills, You want to use your 5th skill first, because your 5th skill got the biggest cooldown first, and second, your 5th skill is also gives you the accumulation on damage dealt. So the more skills you're producing while you have your 5th skill up, the more damage you're going to produce. So you're building your damage over time with MAgneto. It's one of the only, basically the only tier 3 at the moment that doing this thing. perhaps Professor X also, but yes, I'm not really a Professor X player at the moment. So yes, I can't really tell you about his output. But Magneto has this, damage over time effect, dot effect, that reminds me Warlocks on World of Warcraft. So Warlock was my favorite character, and that's why I really like Magneto. The fact that you can spam every single skill whenever you want, it's really majestic. And you can see I managed to do that in 1 minute and 15 seconds, so it was like 20 seconds faster than the previous three dudes, Moonknight, Shadowshell, and Namor, was not getting that fast clears. And as you notice here, I'm using his leadership and support of Cyclops. Of course, I could use any other support, but Cyclops, I feel like, because they have the team up bonus also, and because Magneto had his own leadership, I want to use a Cyclops. I'm not sure if that's the best case scenario, perhaps Polaris, perhaps someone else, but yes, it is what it is. I use Cyclops, and as you can see, it's not joke. His tier 4 skill, it's a skill that produced damage also, and it's damage over time, so you don't really want to waste time thinking about rotation and stuff like that. You just drop all of your skills whenever they're ready, dropping skills, and Magneto gonna produce damage over time always. So my advice, do your 5th skill and spam. Do your 5th skill and spam. So before you are going to use your tier 3 or your tier 4, make sure that you have used your 5th skill. Use your 5th skill and do whatever. That's my advice. That's how I produce huge amount of damage with him on ABL and ABX, and that's what you should do also if you have built him and if you have his last uniform. So now let's go to the big guns, Jean Grey and Thor, and let's go through Thor first. Yeah, let's go for Thor. So Thor is the one that you have to pay attention more on his rotation. Every single time you're doing your 5th skill, delay cancel on your 3rd skill, 1st, 2nd, 4th skill. And that's the rotation when you have a CTB of Judgment or a CTB of Rage, basically. But yes, when you're having a Mighty Rage or a Brilliant Rage, it's really important to utilize your 1st skill and your 2nd skill, because you're charging your Mighty Rage or your Brilliant Rage faster. So what you're doing every single time, 5th skill, delay cancel, 3rd skill, 1, 2, 4. And you're letting your 4th skill place until the end, until the animation ends. When you have your tier 3, and you're going against only GBR or World Boss Legend, you want to do exactly the same rotation, but in the end of rotation you're stacking your tier 3 also, or your tier 4, or both of them. Doesn't really matter when you're going to use your tier 4, but what it matters is when you're going to use your tier 3. Most of the times you want to use it at the end of the tier, when you're pressing your like this. I pressed my 4th skill and I didn't let my 4th skill place at all. I went into my tier 3 skill, and in this run, to be honest, I lost a lot of procs. I lost 1 or 2 procs, so my Thor could be even faster. So for sure I lost like 5 seconds, I could say. In my mind, it's like 10 seconds faster than my Magneto Thor. You see there in the first phase, I could cancel the whole phase, and the first phase of Dormamu, I could skip it totally. But yes, I missed 1 or 2 rotations, but still, Thor, you can see here, he's a powerhouse. And if you want to use him for ABX and ABL, his rotation is completely different. When you're going to do ABL and ABX, instead of this rotation, you're saving your tier 3 skill and you're utilizing it as second part of, you're doing 2 different rotations. You're doing 3 cancel tier 3, letting your tier 3 place until the end, 5 delay cancel, 3 cancel, 1, 2, 4. So with that way, you're doing two different procs in the same, you know, period of time when you have your fifth skill to charge again. Or else on ABX and ABL, you have to wait a lot to charge your fifth skill again and do it before your tier 3, so you're losing damage for ABX and ABL. But for GBR and World Boss Legend, this feels to be the best, because in this game mode you want to avoid all these things going on. You want to wait for the boss to progress through phases. But for ABX and ABL, it's pretty much about stacking up damage and doing all the time damage. And that's why Thor got two different rotations, and you want to use them in two different, depending on what game mode you are going to. So now let's go to the Queen of the Prom, Jean Grey. Jean Grey happens to be the only, basically, you know, she is one of the characters that can take full advantage of Ghost Rider's leadership, not Ghost Rider, Ghost Panther basically, leadership and support, because Ghost Rider provides a huge buff for all fire damage characters. And Jean Grey at the moment, it's the only fire character I have tier 4, and perhaps it's the only in the game. As you can see here, I delete the boss. I should save my tier 3 there to do more damage later on. But here rotation, it's pretty much spam also. You want to use your tier 4 skill before you do everything else every single time, because your tier 4 provides you the ability to accumulate damage dealt. So the more damage you're doing after you cast your tier 4, the most damage Jean Grey is going to produce. But as you can see here, I didn't have a lot of time to speak about here, and she's already doing this phase. She is even faster than Thor, she is even faster than everyone, and I'm using again Valkyr. Of course, Ghost Panther, it's ultra support, it's the best leadership and support for her, but in the same time, she got like a 10 seconds difference with that count of, you know, huge accounts, huge builds on every single character. All characters are full of all this blessing, all characters got mighty brilliant rages, and Thor is with a brilliant rage. Of course, I missed some rotations, but with Jean Grey, I wasn't perfect also. So yeah, potentially I can clear Dormamu in less than 1 minute and a half, because here in 58 seconds I was able to pull Dormamu into the last phase. So my advice with Jean Grey, spam everything you want, but be, keep in mind that you have to use your tier 4 right before you want to use your tier 3 and the rest of your skills, because the more damage you're doing after using your tier 4, the more buff you're gonna get through the accumulation, and the more buff you're going to produce through the character. So yes, that was it. Jean Grey is the absolute queen, Thor is the second, and the rest are going after, of course, because of the typing. But still, Jean Grey keeps the crown, and she is the queen 100%. So that was it, the absolute champion of GBR, you know, the ultimate fighting championship of GBR. And I want you to tell me, you know, I have an idea to go through and do exactly the same with my second card set, which is with 4% peers. So we can find out if the same characters can produce who is going to be benefit more from the 25% peers, who is going to be way worse, you know, and figure out which one of these characters are worth for less peers. So if you want to see that, let me know down below in the comments. I'm gonna ask you in different, comments. I'm gonna pin up, and I want you answer down below so I can see if there is a lot of people are engaged to this and they want to see more about less peers GBR and which character can produce a lot of damage. So let me know down below in the comments your opinion. Thank you for being here. See you into the next, and don't forget to join Discord and get your card for GBR. Kisses in your faces.